if you look at like the bigger institutions or how like some institutions move, like MoMA, let's say MoMA, they're like a corporate nonprofit. They're like, I mean, it's just I mean, it's there's how is that? How I mean, it's like
so it'd be like museums that are massive institutions would be because they have gift shops and whatnot,
yeah. I mean, I think it's like trend. I mean, I guess as far as like the technical of like just structuring, like let's say art sales. Um, we don't transact like art sales. But we let the artists transact art sales, and we can kind of direct them. And then what we do is we just say like, if you want to make, we have a recommended 35% cut, but that's like recommended. If you're like in a tough spot, it's just, it's available. So, and it's as a donation. Like it's so, I think that can be a model for how, because I don't think that like if it's like an artist space, then you're going to rely on sales. I think that where you get into that murkiness is like where a nonprofit may start to like rely on sales so much that, that then you start showing artists just to make sales, right?
Would you lose your 501c?
I think you will lose. So I think if you are selling any merchandise, I think it's, and I have to double check this, but I think it's categorized as merchandise. And so that can't be like 20% of your overall income.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's just like some little, it's like a little more kind of under the hood.
No, and you're definitely not a legal scholar here. You're just mostly someone that knows more than me about this.
Yeah. But I mean, it's to say that we also, I think, are trying not to get to that point where we're having shows based on sales. That we like are building a community, and that's been the rewarding thing about doing this is that like it's seeing a community grow out of it that is more about people coming together and over art, right? And rather than like buyers or I mean, but at the same time, I mean it's not that I don't want buyers. I think that's really part of the ecosystem is that we need people that are coming to like support the artists, and that's not an illusion, but really it's just that I think we can show work that is challenging to the status quo that maybe David Zwirner or Hauser and Wirth can't show or something, right? Or wouldn't show. And so I think it's just, we live in such a precarious time as far as like saying what you want to say. And I think that's got to be, I think there's more people that feel a certain way than not. It's what I think. And that why are these few entities like controlling what can happen and what can't happen? And so I don't know.
No, I mean that's interesting. What would you say the difference between your space and like a straight up museum would be? Like and I'll use like for like example, Long Beach Museum, because I know when I've had Paul Loya, who's the director of that, on here, and the way that he described the mission was about educating a community, right? Although I don't know, I think that like I don't know I don't remember what the criteria for for picking people in, but that being the main focus is like how I want to make an educational show. Is there other motivations behind a show at a space like yours that you would see as different than a motivation from a museum space?
I think like just the scale of ours is so different, than a larger. I think scale really matters because like it's like I'd say that the advantages of our tiny scale is that we're really person to person in a way that like a bigger institution they'll give you different things, you know, artists will benefit in different ways, like that credibility of an institution or just the stature of that or what that means for them, you know. But for us, I think it's kind of that, a little bit of that, but it's also about how we can, what we can show and who we can work with, that they don't have to be like famous. They don't have to be like a ladder climber. They don't have to be like, you know, they you know, they can be kind of community supported. I think that's kind of the criteria in which we kind of work. We're like, does this feel like a community supported event even before it even starts? Like, is this what the conversation is this like feeling like, okay, this is like something that the community really wants?
Do you guys depend on memberships? Like, can I ask you about funding, how that works? Because I know that's one of the things that's specific about 501c.
Absolutely.
And then I also know there's a collective I used to be a part of that is now Voldemort, who shall not be named because we left on bad terms. But I know that they were part of Fulcrum Arts, or they were sub qualifying as a nonprofit through someone else's 501c. And for the people that don't know why I'm saying that number, that's the number of the like document, right? Or what is 501c?
Oh yeah, it's just the classification for, it's the legal category classification for your entity.
Okay.
It's like a non-governmental organization.
Oh, so you're an NGO?
Yes, we all are technically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we're not in the government, but we're like independent.
Yeah. So, sorry, I forgot the question I just asked you.
Yeah, I think you were.
Funding.
Funding, yeah. Yes. So what we inherited, I will say, was like, we weren't getting it, where we were not locked into any grants.
Okay.
There was just like one family foundation grant. It was like an annual fundraiser, which also started like, she kind of slowed that down quite a bit. So, and like finances were very precarious. Just, I think the whole time I was there was no plan, you know, in terms of that either.
That location can't be cheap. The Little Tokyo, because I mean, Sahiro just got kicked out.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky because the Little Tokyo Service Center is our landlord, and they're the dream landlord.
Yeah.
Not only is it not market rate, it's like well below market rate, but they're also like really flexible. It's like they really
happens. They want the cultural institutions.
That's their priority. Yeah, and they'll work with us in ways that we couldn't dream of that.
Yeah.
But